We'll also have the Nation newspaper, Tribune, and The Explainer. From the Punch newspaper, FG warns 3,598 workers of dismissal, orders fresh verification. The Federal Civil Service Commission has ordered 3,598 civil servants who missed the 2021 verification exercise to appear for a re-verification, warning that failure to do so will be taken as evidence of holding fake appointment letters. The exercise will run from Monday, August 18 to Thursday, August 28, 2025 across various ministries, departments and agencies, including the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Defense, Education, Justice, Works, Information, Science and Technology, Aviation, Finance, Interior, and the State House. Keyamo condemns indecent video as AON bans passenger indefinitely. The airline operators of Nigeria has placed a female passenger, Comfort Emanson, who assaulted airline officials on an Ibom Air flight inbound Lagos from Uyo, on its no-fly list indefinitely. This came as the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has condemned the release of a video showing indecent exposure of the passenger during the incident, describing the act as totally unacceptable and directing that the staff responsible be identified and sanctioned. Nigeria requires $120 billion to build federal roads, TUC. The Trade Union Congress of Nigeria has stated that the country would need an estimated $120 billion to construct its federal road network, a sum that is roughly 4 times the size of its annual budget. The union described the gap between Nigeria's infrastructure needs and available resources as alarming, accusing much of the political leadership of lacking the vision and innovation required to revive the economy. So from the Punch, 2 arrested for recruiting Lagos drivers to steal employers' vehicles. The Lagos State Police Command has smashed a suspected car theft syndicate accused of using fake drivers to steal their employers' vehicles. The Commissioner of Police, Olorundare Jimoh, while addressing journalists at the command headquarters in Ikeja on Monday, said the gang leader, identified as Chinedu Emmanuel, was arrested during an operation which took place on July 17 in the Ogijo area of Ogun State. FG generates 5.21 trillion naira from oil sales in H1. The federal government, through the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, raked in 5.21 trillion naira from the sale of crude oil, gas, and other economic activities in the first 6 months of 2025. It said the revenue inflow represents 42.7% of the record 12.2 trillion naira it generated in the entire 2024 fiscal year. The figure, however, represents only 34.7% of the 15 trillion naira revenue target set by the federal government for the Commission to implement the 2025 budget. We move on to the Nation newspaper. EFCC holds ex-governor Tambuwal over suspicious 189 billion naira cash withdrawals. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Monday grilled a former Sokoto governor, Aminu Tambuwal, over suspicious cash withdrawals of 189 billion naira. Tambuwal, who was in the custody of the anti-graft agency in Abuja, was expected to account for the questionable cash haul during his tenure. Customs seized 10 billion naira worth of contraband, arms, drugs at Lagos port. The Nigeria Customs Service, NCS, has intercepted 16 containers loaded with prohibited items, including firearms, ammunition, military gear, and fake drugs worth 10 billion naira at the Lagos Port Complex, Apapa. Speaking to journalists in Lagos yesterday, Comptroller General Adewale Adeniyi said the seizures included 2 pump-action rifles, 25 cartridges of ammunition, and 202 cans of Colorado Loud, a Canadian strain of cannabis concealed inside a 40-foot container. Moving on to the Tribune, Johesu warns FG against criminalizing strike. The Joint Health Sector Union's Johesu has vehemently rejected what it describes as a dangerous attempt to use the newly announced National Industrial Relations Policy to criminalize strike actions and weaken trade unionism in Nigeria. In a strongly worded reaction to comments credited to the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Malam Mohammed Idris, after the Federal Executive Council meeting held recently, the coalition of 4 registered unions under Johesu said the federal government's position negates the fundamental right of workers to freedom of association and right to strike, as enshrined in the International Labour Organization Convention 87, adopted in 1948, to which Nigeria is a signatory and has domesticated. Plan to shut down 176 estates could unsettle investors' confidence, Redan. The Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, REDAN, has expressed concerns over the Lagos State government's plan to shut down 176 housing estates said to have breached planning regulations. REDAN President Akintoye Adeoye said that branding the estates as illegal could send the wrong signal to both local and foreign investors. A bit of foreign news. Trump seizes Washington police control, deploys National Guard. U.S. President Donald Trump on Monday said he is placing Washington, D.C.'s police department under federal control and sending in National Guard troops, citing what he calls out-of-control crime in the city. Trump, who had earlier threatened such a move, made the announcement during a White House news conference that began shortly before noon. He said he is invoking his authority under Section 740 of the District's Home Rule Act, which outlines the capital's local government. From the explainer, reduce poverty, invest in power, agriculture, Tinubu tasked governors. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu recently in Abuja tasked governors across the country to prioritize citizens' welfare, invest in rural electrification, agricultural mechanization, poverty eradication, and infrastructure development. A statement by Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, Office of the Vice President, Stanley Nkwocha, said the President's call followed the presentation and endorsement of Renewed Hope Ward Development Program by the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Atiku Bagudu, during the 150th National Economic Council meeting held at the Council Chambers of the Presidential Villa. And that's it. You can pick up a copy of any of the daily to go online to read more. Also, interact with us via our social media platforms on X, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Traffic Radio 961, and follow me across social media at Dele Agadumo.